Jones to table the matter. So you're more than welcome to, it's a public meeting, to go down and check and take care of things. I'm not sure what kind of procedure we're going to follow here. This really isn't part of the meeting. I would suggest that everybody be respectful and try not to get too agitated sometimes if you get an answer you don't like. I'm just asking you to count to 10 and then address your concerns. So I'm not sure who wants to start. Okay, well, MR has a hand up, so there we go.
Thank you. Jen Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was starting to answer your question down there, so I'll finish, and then any mistakes Todd will fix them. He's the premier engineer on this. But you asked about canisters, and during the research on this, and supposing they get this test hole all the way up and down finished, then I really do hope they will drop a few canisters down in and take them out. Canisters full of rock, maybe. Now, we already know there's no nuclear waste involved in this, so, but you need to see if you can drop the canisters down and take them out. You don't want it hanging up, so this is part of the research project. Straight. That's why you gotta have the hole straight. Drop it down and bring it up. So, but
Are they gonna drop these canisters down and bring rocks up with them? Are they old canisters? Or explain to me why, what's the purpose of dropping a canister down if the nuclear waste is not behind it?
To see if you can do it.
Just to see if
Oh, yeah.
That's why you do a lot of research, to see if you can do it.
What's it gonna prove?
To prove you can do it.
So the why? You can put nuclear in it.
Wait, where are you, first of all? First of all, it'd be nice if you introduced yourself.
Oh, I did,
Some of us are
okay.
not privileged enough to
Okay.
be in the commission room.
Okay, thank you. That's a good point. My name is M.R. Hansen. I live in Phillip. I was born in Phillip. I grew up in Phillip. Went to Phillip High School for 12 years. Went to School of Mines and graduated in civil engineering. I worked as an engineer and most recently teaching civil engineering at the School of Mines for since 1985. Then I retired 3 years ago and moved to Phillip on the home place here with Barbara. Right, the beautiful young lady is Barbara. Retired to Phillip because I love this place. This is my home. I have the safety and the well-being of this community foremost in my mind. I understand this science. I'm an engineer. I understand this science. There is, we can learn a lot from it. There is no danger from this science. We will bring in knowledge and jobs and great economic benefit to this area with no danger whatsoever. Yes?
Can you please describe the project from the beginning?
Oh, well, okay. One other thing. I have a fact sheet here now. These are the questions that we developed with the commissioners over a couple of meetings, and the answers are in red. We brought these back. It's been like 2 or 3 months we've been doing this. This is fact sheet, I call it. And I'll pass these out. I just have limited number. If you raise your hand, I'll bring you one. Let's do it that way. Okay. And yeah, you explained it. Yeah. Todd Kenner, President of RESPEC Incorporated, world-renowned research organization in Rapid City.
Respect.
Excuse me?
It's a consultant.
Yes, yes.
Todd Kenner with RESPEC. MR likes to lay it on a little too thick.
Why don't you just create a website with this on it?
There's science firm. Rapid City.
No website.
Since 1969. We employ about 250 people. We have about $40 million in revenue. Most of that's outside the state.
Okay, but I want to take it home.
We
Just
apply our
president of
knowledge.
organization.
Louder.
I apologize. Not sure I got tuned into the acoustics here, but just telling a little bit about our firm. We were incorporated in 1969 in Rapid City. It was founded by 6 professors from the School of Mines. Dr. Paul Gennert, who was kind of the principal founder, and now we're on our 3rd generation of engineers and scientists. Obviously, because of that relationship back in the early days, we have always maintained close ties to the School of Mines. It's a great resource for our young engineers and scientists, and we work with them on a lot of different projects, water quality projects, mining projects, in various locations. We are employee owned. 100% of our employees own our company. There's no outside interest. Each one of our employees have a % of interest within the company. It's called an ESOP. Without going into all the legal parts of ownership, but to answer the question of what this project's all about, back in the 70s, and I'll try to do a little history. Back in the 70s, the National Science Foundation was they looked at different ways to deal with nuclear waste. I mean, this is, you know, kind of what drove the science part of it. And they looked at putting waste in salt, they looked at putting waste in shale, they looked at putting waste in granite. One of those theories, and it was pure theory, pure conjecture at the time, was, well, let's drill a deep hole, or a borehole, and put it in there and store it in there. Well, in the 70s, you couldn't even do that. The drilling technology wasn't there. You know, we didn't know enough, we didn't have the technology advanced enough to even try the concept, to research the concept. They since did a bunch of research in salt, and creating like a conventional mine. I don't know how many people are familiar with it. Kind of has hallways and then rooms off of it underground. And so our company did a tremendous amount of research in salt, in this arena, in repository science. We've never handled nuclear waste. We've never dealt with nuclear waste. We've not wanted anything to do with it. But understanding the research and science of it is very important to us. That research led to the development of the WIP site in Carlsbad, New Mexico. We did our research on Avery Island in Louisiana. Carlsbad, New Mexico is the only licensed repository in the U.S. It's it, that's it. Yucca Mountain has had a descent decree from the President of the United States. Whether or not that will be overturned in the next administration, who knows? But the knowledge that we gained, and here's the applied part, the knowledge we gained in doing all that research to store nuclear, we have applied in industry for the last 25 years. We work with Cargill, a large corporation, major food producer, salt mining for de-icing and everything else. We work for Mosaic up in Canada and produce potash in potash mines all over North America. Potash, as we all know, is fertilizer for food production. It is the fertilizer. The province of Saskatchewan has about 40% of the world's reserves. And because of this knowledge that we gained in research, we've been working up in Canada since 1992. And our young engineers, Leo Van Sambeek at the time in the 70s, is now probably one of the most renowned experts in salt. You can Google Dr. Leo Van Sambeek. He has a Black Angus ranch in Hermosa, South Dakota, but he goes everywhere in the world. And I know that seems grandish, but it's real. And Dr. John Osmus from Burke, South Dakota works with us. He was part of all that research.
Are those all extracting stuff? Is that
Excuse me?
Are those things that you're talking about, is it extracting?
Yeah,
stuff?
it would
so
be.
it's not just
Yeah, what we're doing in the applied world is we're mining salt for food production, for de-icing. We're mining potash for fertilizer, so that's the extraction of a mineral.
You're not burying stuff.
Excuse me?
You're not burying stuff.
No.
Not yet.
They probably go under the heading of an industrial mineral, but it's for, the predominant uses, as we know, salt's like the mineral, and it's key to so many things. So, now we come to today, and all of a sudden, Yucca Mountain gets shut down in, I don't know, 3-4 years ago. I'm not, the date's not right on top of my head, but the Obama administration shut down Yucca Mountain. The Obama administration created what's called a Blue Ribbon Commission. And that Blue Ribbon Commission said, hey, we need to put everything on the table. We need to look at this whole repository science. And they went back and looked at a lot of the research that was done, or the theorizing that was done in the 70s, and said, we probably have the technology to do research on this borehole. Let's dedicate some money for it and see if we can even drill a hole like that. Just to give you context, and this is just sharing information. We mentioned downstairs that the budget for this project is $36 million. For all of us in this room, that's a heck of a lot of money. In the context of what it takes to build a repository and the time, I believe to date they've spent in the neighborhood of $10 billion on Yucca Mountain. The WIP site annually costs about $200 million to operate and maintain. $36 million in this research arena. I know it's our taxpayer money and it's a lot of money, but $36 million is very, very, very small. And I just offer that up for context. So we have drilling technology. Obviously, they've drilled 5 miles deep into the Gulf of Mexico for oil. They've drilled deep holes in Finland and other places. But MR's point about drought, they've never drilled a hole to this diameter, 8 inches. That's all the bigger it is. And to use something that we probably all can relate, gun barrels straight. You know, normal drilling, for those of you in the drilling profession, you probably know a heck of a lot more than I do. You know, the drill hole itself is not just totally linear and straight. It kind of meanders and wanders and stuff, all based on kind of your approach and the purpose of that. Well, this, we want 8 inches in diameter, and we want it gun barrel straight to 5 kilometers or 3.2 miles. Those 3 things together have never been done. And that's what they want to figure, can it even be done? The reality may be, it can't. It can't, and you go home. I mean, there's nothing else to talk about. The other aspect of this is,
I have a question.
yes, ma'am.
Is there gonna be a second hole that's gonna be drilled that's 16 inches in diameter?
There is a concept to go to 17 inches. But all there is there is one contract being proposed for 36 million or roughly to drill an 8-inch diameter hole. That's it. That's the only thing being advertised. That's the only thing on the table. They've talked about a second characterization hole, but whether the funding's there or not, I have no idea. No idea whatsoever.
It says, if the 8-inch hole works, then you're gonna drill one 30 inches
No,
to the same depth. That's what the fact sheet states.
it should be 17.
17. Well,
MR's got an item here shortly,
So
but
now
no,
there
it's
is a
17.
second hole, because if that's on the fact sheet.
well, I hope there will be a second hole, because you need to do more than just one to get the,
So
learn everything.
there isn't canisters 8 inches in diameter. there's nothing that's gonna go down that hole except instrumentation that's gonna look at the geology. Probably a high-tech camera to really look at and take out the core. And so we wanna see if you can even drill to those kind of specifications. Two is, nobody really has looked at the rock to those depths. I'll get to you, Jen. Nobody's looked at real rock, you know, from theory and stuff, they kind of think they know what happened many years ago, but they really want to look at the rock and is it more fractured the deeper you go down or less? Is it more uniform? How stable is it? You know, does it crumble? Because they want, again, that gun barrel straight, clean hole. So that's the other aspect of they're just really understanding geology and what happens at those depths. Yes, sir.
How deep did you go before they run you out of Spink County?
We did not drill a hole.
Yeah, how does this vary, MR? You said this varied from the Spink County?
Todd will know.
No, you know, it's the same project.
Okay, so you
Same-
were
oh,
involved
so it
with
doesn't vary
Spink
at all.
County?
What's
Was RESPEC involved with
Yes.
Spink County?
Yes.
Were you involved when it was up in North Dakota?
No, no ma'am.
Okay.
You know, and our involvement in Spink County was very secondary. Patel was a lead. Patel is not a part of this project.
Why is that?
And the reason we're here,
Why is
and,
Patel not a part of this project?
no,
Who
ma'am.
is?
No, they aren't.
Why are
Who
they
is?
not now?
We are.
I could give you one statement that Patel made in Spink County. They said they could not believe how unpatriotic we were, that we would not accept that project, that we had a debt to pay for Truman winning the
You know
war.
what? That's why they're not involved.
That's why they're not
That's why
involved.
they're not involved.
Why would they say that? Why would
Because
you
they're a
find
bunch of
out-
jerks.
Why would you
Well, I think
find
it says a
out
lot that
unified
3
law
commissioners from Spink
about
County
nuclear
came,
waste
are up here
disposal
opposed to
in
this.
South Dakota? And why
So-
would Andy Griffith of the Department of Energy say that Patel was part 1, but Department of Energy was part 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and he would not define those?
I don't know what that means.
So, you know, if I can bring this back, why are we still pursuing this?
$36 million. Just for fun?
It's, no. We are scientists and engineers, and we've built our career doing this. And we've been afforded the opportunity to live and work in South Dakota and study our trade and apply that trade. And this is a one-of-a-kind project. And to be part of that, and we have researched it, we have looked at it, we have experienced